Hello friends out there, this is Classic Vinyl Collectibles and we're doing part 3 of our 80s new wave and synth pop videos. And the reason why it's part 3 is because I'm splitting this up into many different parts because we've got A to Z to cover. So I've already done parts 1 and 2 and that was just covering mostly the A and B section, and now we're on to C. Just a couple of things here. As I'm going through all of these, I do suggest if you like 80s music, get out a pen and a pad and write this stuff down because you'll be making the best 80s playlist that I can offer to you. And even if you were around back then or weren't, what would you like to bring back from that wonderful decade that we don't have right now? Mine would be these wonderful videos. This is Duran Duran's Save a Prayer behind me. And I just really miss MTV. As you can see, I got the shirt on right now. MTV when it was MTV. So we're going to get into the C section here of my 80s New Wave Synth Pop collection, and there's a lot to go through. Also, one last thing, leave some comments. I'd like to know what you think. This is just one person's collection. There's so many more out there, but there's another video maker that's on YouTube. He shows a lot too, and that's Classic Jams, classic with a K, Classic Jams. Take a look at his stuff. If you like what I have to show, see his stuff too. So we're going to start with this. Culture Club. Remember this? When Boy George came out, what a voice he had, and what a voice he still has. The two songs that were on this album that were real catchy was Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? My favorite though was Time, Clock of the Heart. I wish they could make music like that these days. What a great production that was. But Do You Really Want to Hurt Me is right here in this 12-inch single. This long play is the one that I heard on the Quake in the Bay Area, KQAK. Later in this version, his voice starts echoing, and that really caught my attention. A lot of stuff back in the 80s, they had echoes on their voices. Now, how could you go wrong with The Occult? You can't. These two songs are just high-powered, played at good volume, great driving songs. This one here is Fire Woman. It's right up there with She Sells Sanctuary. If you like driving fast on the road or just like the movement of speed, play these two songs in your car when you're driving, either day or night. This was my favorite because it was played at a goth club that was in Alameda that I used to go to back in '87. I was 18, and I gotta say, what a fun time that was. It was in a 1930s Art Deco theater, and it was a goth club. This moves a little bit more into the early 90s, but Culture Beat, No Deeper Meaning. Great track along with this one right here, and that is Cherry Lips. This is a little bit more house music, but I think it might be right around the cusp of 89, 90. This is the one where the guy speaks in German and he says, I twist and turn to taste your cherry lips. But one side is in English and the other version is in German. I hope everyone has either this record or maybe an MP3 of it, The Cure. And how many hits do they have? But this one right here has got Robert Smith. His voice is so great in this song. I've never found anybody else who sounds like him, but of course he's their frontman singer. This one is Let's Go to Bed. And as soon as you hear this, this takes you right back to those wonderful 80s days. This one here is CCCP, Orient Express. This one came out in '88. I bought this in San Francisco at Record Rack. If you listen to this, if you find it on YouTube, it's got a slamming, pounding beat to it, a nice sway to it. And their other one is this one here, Made in Russia. The synths on this one are striking very hard. And what I mean like that is just those like emulator sounds. You'd have to hear it. It sounds a lot like American Soviets, but didn't become as popular with it. But look up Made in Russia, you'll see what I'm talking about. So those two songs right there. The Clash, Rock the Casbah. As soon as this song starts, you'll know it right away. And I don't quite remember what he's saying, but of course the notable song words of the song are Rock the Casbah, Rock the Casbah. Certainly one to get if you don't have it. Let's move into somebody else. Do you like industrial? Let's say industrial electronica? Because aside from Kraftwerk, as far as being electronica music, kind of the founders of it, and even Tangerine Dream, Chris Carter and Kosi Fanny were a branch off from Throbbing Gristle, a late 70s, very early 80s industrial band. Well, these two got together, they ended up becoming husband and wife, but you want a dark, deep, sultry voice, that's her. And you get together, the two of them, and lots of sounds, lots of echoes, noise, sound effects in the background. If you know Chris and Kosi stuff, you know what I'm talking about. They have a whole string of albums out. Their Songs of Love and Lust, Trance, another one, Techno Primitive, Heartbeat. Look all this stuff up. If you like industrial electronic music, these are the ones to look up. And that one brings me to Sweet Surprise. Look at that back cover there, Chris and Kosi. Now these two is Annie Lennox and I think his name's David Ball from the Eurythmics. So it features her voice talking and Annie Lennox from the Eurythmics singing on it. She's just humming. But this is called Sweet Surprise. And I'm sorry for stickers. Sometimes it happens. In my early days of buying from Discogs, I didn't know how to pay attention to SOC, sticker on cover, SOL, and that's sticker on label. Sometimes you can use a blow dryer and get stickers off. These ones wouldn't come off, so whatever. This one here, these are their albums of Chris and Kosi. Look those up. Amazing productions. But this one here is Chris and Kosi Reflection. It's kind of a greatest hits of theirs. So look up them. Remember Cabaret Voltaire? And this one here is called Code. And it's got Don't Argue on it and a bunch of other great tunes. And so there's that. Then I have this one here is, yes, Here to Go. They were very hard with their drum machines and synthesizers. But if you know Cabaret Voltaire, you'll know what I'm talking about. I love this one. This is very upbeat. It moves really, really nice. It's called James Brown. Has nothing to do with the singer James Brown. I don't know why it's titled James Brown, but look it up. It's a nice long track. It really moves. And then here we are, Cabaret Voltaire, The Drain Train. And this is 3 tracks on here, 2 records inside. Now we get into Oaklawn Records. There's quite a few releases on this label here. I think they were out of Texas. In fact, it says it right here. They're out of Texas. This is CCP, American Soviets. My wife told me that this was even a big song in the Philippines. So if you look the song up, this is probably played in every nightclub, dance club that ever existed. So when you hear it, they're speaking Russian at the beginning and something about Gorbachev. And as soon as the synth start hitting, you'll know what I mean. Big time floor filler. Cyndi Lauper. I wasn't a big Cyndi Lauper fan, but She Bop hit really hard. And that's what I like, when songs just have a nice drive to them. That's She Bop. Love that one there. This one I ended up getting 2 versions of. I think one is an import, one's a domestic. In fact, I can feel the difference here. But Camouflage, and this is One Fine Day. Didn't care for it. The one that I wanted on the flip side is Cling Clang. It sounds exactly like Kraftwerk. If you like Kraftwerk, look up Camouflage, Cling Clang. This was their big German techno hit, The Great Commandment. You cannot play this record at a low volume. It has to be played loud. Steve Masters on Live 105. With that voice of his, he introduced this record as one of these new German techno hits here. And as soon as it started, it was just banging out the speakers. That moves us into, gosh, this other band here, C2 Javu. This seems to be an experiment that was Technodrome International from ZYX, and we've got C2 Javu Situations. And if you like Depeche Mode, then you'll know what this is, or you'll like what this is, Situations. So big time Depeche Mode fans, look this up. C'est déjà vu, Situations. C'est déjà vu, Have in Mind, another one, big time floor filler. Am I holding these right? See them okay? Okay, good. Have in Mind. And I also like China Girl that's on the flip side. I was a little bit more fond of that one. But Have in Mind was the big time floor filler along with Situations. This one here, C'est déjà vu, Adonde. That was the one to get. If you like Italo Disco, then this is the one to get. Side 2, Adonde. I never listened to So Strange. That's the front song here. But if you like Italo Disco, if you know what I'm talking about, Italo Disco, that's like Modern Talking and Bad Boys Blue, Fancy, all that stuff. Look up Adonde. Candy Colored Clowns. All right, not sure what this whole thing is. I know it has something to do with Blue Velvet and Dennis Hopper rubbing the lipstick all over his lips. But in the song it says Daddy Loves You. It's from that movie. Look this up though. Candy Colored Clowns, M Loves You. I bought this at Butchwax Records on 18th Street, but in the Castro, San Francisco. Good tune. Here's another Cyndi Lauper in the She Bop. I always like picture covers. I can't stand generic. Why bother? If it's white with just a circle, sometimes that's just how it happened, but I love imports. They're thinner, the paper's thinner. I'm just very fond of that. Now we move into some of you Bronski Beat fans out there. Communards. Never Can Say Goodbye. Velma Houston, I think that's who redid it in the disco days. Well, these guys did a nice touch to it and turned it into a great high energy hit of the 80s. Again, Depeche Mode fans, do you remember Cause and Effect? Let's Not Wait Another Minute. I don't remember which mix that I listened to on here, but look this up. Let's Not Wait Another Minute. The singer sounds a lot like David Gann. A lot of people think Blondie is the name of the girl. It's the name of the band. Debbie Harry is the name of the blonde girl in Blondie. Then she came out with this, In Love with Love. If you like Stacy Q or Bananarama's Venus, right around the same time as that, the electronics that they were using, the synths. And so we've got In Love with Love. Loud, great loud song. This was featured in the movie Scarface, Rush Rush, and it's when Al Pacino was dancing with, oh gosh, I forgot her name, the blonde actress that was in there. But when they're, in fact here it is right here from the movie. But when they're on the dance floor, you're hearing Debbie Harry saying, Rush, Rush, get the yayo. It had to do with the movie, the whole cocaine thing. Really nice dance tune though. The Cure. I wish this had a picture cover to it, but this is just a promo. Hot, hot, hot. I think this was played in every club out there. Hey, hey, hey. I like it a lot. I'm smiling because the Cure music is just so much fun. We get back into Debbie Harry. Sweet and Low. That's the Way I Like It. Another really nice, cute, somewhat of a house music song. All right. Deborah Sassoon and Microchip League. If you know Microchip League, you know that they were loud. This is German techno at its best because she sings opera. And this is Carmen, Danger in Her Eyes. When this German music is hitting, this pounding German techno, and her voice just comes out like something out of a forest. It's opera meets techno. When I first heard this, I brought this to my friend at Club Twilight Zone in Alameda. I don't know if you've been there. And he played it. I've never heard opera played with techno, German synths. That right there is something to get. Dead or Alive, You Spin Me Around. overplayed song, overrated, I think. Great tune, but that's on a promo right there. And then the last one for this video, I'm going to go cut it here with this last one. This was my favorite. What I Want, What I Need. This is earlier Dead or Alive, before the Youthquake album. And look this one up. What I Want, What I Need. So that's it for that video. That's part 3. If you like what you see and you'd like to see more videos, go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button, and it supports the channel. I will get future videos out to you, but that's part 3, and we're going to be looking forward to part 4 very soon. And by the way, if you'd like to catch up on parts 1 and 2, right here coming out, you should be seeing a card sliding out, and click on that and it'll take you to part 1, and you can start with the A section. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.